Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Brownstone. I'm your host, Dr. Michele, and you're listening to Numbers Don't Lie. We learn to get out your feelings so you can make the best decisions for yourself, your family, and your business. So I'm very excited about this week's topic because I don't know if you've noticed, but we've taken a slightly more serious turn this season. We're still talking about all things data, right? We got entrepreneurs and business owners and nonprofit leaders still visiting us, but the topics are what's concerning our world. So even though I'm a data scientist and data consultant, I actually have my PhD in epidemiology. So I am a public health professional, public health advocate, and public health officer. So things that plague our communities are important to me. So things like chronic conditions, we talked about that with a panel of Black women doctors. We talk about mental space. And today we're going to be talking about maternal care. So this is really important and a big deal because for decades, I'm not talking about 2 years, I'm talking about decades. This has been something that has divided the Black and white woman community when we talk about maternal health outcomes. That's actually one of the first conversations I had with my graduate director when I went to visit University of South Carolina. I had never heard of it before then. This was back in 2014. Never heard of it. I wasn't in the health space. And she said, yeah, even when we control for education and income, the difference is still there. What's explaining it? And most of us know what's explaining it. And so I have a special guest that I met, and she's so humble, y'all, because when I met her, I had no idea she was such a successful business owner. So she really goes against the grain and shows that you can work in an area that you're passionate in, as well as an area that helps people. And you can still get paid nicely. Okay. You don't have to sacrifice yourself to do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited to welcome to the Numbers Don't Lie stage, Miss Rosalee Henry.
Thank you so much, Dr. Michele. Thank you so much. And
Thank you for joining me.
so I'm Rosalie Henry. I'm the founder of Mothers Helping Hands Atlanta, and started this journey, I would say, from the bottom. I started this in this space as a nanny. And while working as a nanny, I had the opportunity for helping a client who was so sleep deprived and overwhelmed. And I was able to help her, giving her the resource. I was helping her by providing educational support and also physical support. And I then realized that there is a need for this service. And also being a teenage mom, I was blessed to at least have have my mom and my grandmother with me at that time. But when I moved here and then, have started a family here, it was so different. Not having that support, not having that community. So again, being back in that space, helping that mom, I realized that, oh my God, this is such a needed service. So I did my research and I became a postpartum doula. And just being in that community, just being, helping so many families. I'm like, okay, I'm passionate about this. Why not now turn it into a business? So I started my company in 2012 and I've not looked back. I have been, yeah, thank you. I have the privilege of, you know, caring for so many parents because I don't just focus on moms because
Mhm.
men do go through postpartum depression. They do have needs and they do need that support. And this has allowed me so much, to travel to so many countries with clients, just helping them, being in that space. And, it's just a privilege just to be able to help so much mom, but just be able to also help moms that look like me
Yeah, I
because
love that.
we so need that support and we don't have the village that we had growing up. People have moved away, career, families, you move away, you don't have that village. So I want to be that village. I want to be that resource, just bring people together, just have that, just have that connection where we can just make sure that they're in a safe space, they have someone to talk to, they have that support. And, and then now I'm also, encouraging other people how to do the same.
Yes, and we're gonna get into all of that, and we're gonna talk more about what you do because I think some people are probably like, "Well, I don't get it. What does she do?" We're not gonna leave y'all hanging, okay? So let's first talk about your success. We're gonna hit that real quick because you have. I don't know if you can see if you follow Ms. Rosalee, but she has on her LinkedIn and different places letting people know, like, "Hey, y'all, we have hit a major milestone in our business." Could you, one, because I don't want to tell your business, could you tell us about that milestone that you guys hit, but then also some strategies that contributed to your success?
Okay. So like you said, I'll just be humble. First and foremost, I just so thankful to God for just
Amen.
giving me the vision and giving me, the wisdom, but also just that caring, that caring character, that care, I'm just that caring, compassionate person. And I always say that whenever I introduce myself, I've never introduced myself as the CEO of my company. I always introduce myself as a postpartum doula because that's what I identify with, even though I'm no longer doulaing, but I'm doulaing other people, how to do their business. That's my doula work right
I
now.
love that you use
So
it
I'm
as a verb. I'm no longer doulaing.
no longer doulaing, right? I'm doulaing people how to, doula their business. So yeah, so a postpartum doula is someone who's trained to go into the home and help moms, or help parents after they get home from the hospital. We help with educational support in the sense that we teach them how to care for their baby, how to care for themselves,
Yeah.
right? We're there for the emotional support because having a baby is a game changer. Your hormones all over the place. You're no longer just caring for you. No, you have to care for newborn. You might even
Right.
have a toddler. But at the same time, your
Mm.
spouse is looking at you or your partner looking at you sideways, like, come on now, you still need to care for me. So it's a whole different ball game. So we're there for there, but also we're there for the physical support. We help mom, with breastfeeding. We help mom with
Okay.
laundry. We help mom with meal prep because God knows sometimes they do not think about what they're themselves going to eat, and you're breastfeeding.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, we're there for that. On top of that, we're there for resources. So if mom is breastfeeding, that's what she chooses to do. She's having issues. We at least have a list of resources that we can refer her to. If we see that, some days are not looking good for her, we have a conversation and we encourage her to talk to someone. So we have a list of mental health support. So that's what we're there for. So, we're there for not only for mom, but for the whole family because it takes a village.
Yeah, absolutely.
It definitely takes
I love that.
a village. So I know you asked, about, like the success part of it. So just being in that space, I was so blessed to be referred to so many clients. And there's a lot of one client after not. And that really grew my business. But most
Mm.
importantly, is knowing my clients' need data. I know you're big in data, and in everything we do when we first start, we collect data. So we see what works. And the
Awesome.
things that doesn't work, we were able to tweak it and make sure everything was fine. We keep in touch with our client. And even afterward, we just make sure we touch in the mental state, see what's going on, see how we can refer them, what else they're needed. So it's just like we are an ecosystem of care. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell people when it comes to care, we're our client's personal concierge. We do from the womb to the tomb. We care across the
Love that.
real across the board. That's what we do.
That's the definition of pro-life, isn't it? From the womb to the
Yes,
tomb.
from womb to the tomb. Yes, yes.
I
Because
love
it's that the
that.
thing is that because we're in that space, a lot of times, women are in that sandwich generation. So they're
Mm-hmm,
caring for their
mm-hmm.
newborns. But also they have their family, the
Yeah.
parents to think
Their
about.
parents. Yep.
Yeah, so we have had opportunities to not only care for the baby, we were able to care for the grandparents because with
Mm-hmm.
my business, we also have a home care part of the business, right? So we were able to care for, the newborn all the way up to the grandparent.
And let me tell you something, Miss Rosalie. This is off script, but it's just it's not a random question. It's an
Yeah.
observation. I read an article. It came through like maybe yesterday morning, and it
Mm.
talked about how wealthy families are now starting to move to the model of having like home doctors, where
Yes.
like they just pay this one doctor
Yes.
a salary, and the doctor
Yes.
takes care of the whole
Oh,
family.
yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I see that with what you're just
Hmm.
saying. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
amazing because we
It
do a
is.
lot of women do get left out. Like they talk about like who cares for the strong friend, who showed
Right.
up for the strong friend, and so you
Yes.
guys show up for the strong friend, which is in
Yeah.
many families the mother.
Yeah. Yes. And also that goes back to trust and building that relationship. Because if you think about it, we already have that relationship caring for the newborn. So we're in that
Mm-hmm.
space. And me myself, I worked with a client before where while I was there caring for the newborn, her dad got a stroke.
Oh my
She
goodness.
had nowhere to turn. She was lost. But because I was in the home care field, I was like, you know what? Don't worry, we got this. So we were able to provide that type of care for her. We have clients who call us back because she's not ready for a mommy makeover. She's having
Wow.
surgery. She called us. We're there. We're there. So, like I said, when it comes to care, we're your personal concierge.
I love that.
Right?
Okay, so you mentioned data
Yeah.
already. So I do want to go in because I think you hit the nail
Mm-hmm.
on the head. You said we
Mm-hmm.
want to know what we're taking data from our clients because we want to know what's working,
Mm-hmm.
what's not working,
Yes.
and then we tweak what's not working. So first of all, let me
Yes.
just pause and say that's exactly how I want you guys to be using data. So
Mm-hmm.
could you tell us, give us some examples of the
Mm-hmm.
types of data that you collected to help you make better decisions?
Okay. So first and foremost, we listen to our client, right? So I've had cases where, mom would call me in the hospital because she never planned for the postpartum period. She's in the
Mm-hmm.
hospital. She now handled a C-section, and someone like, okay, what are you going to do when you get home?
Oh, yeah.
Right? So she called. So the questions I was able to ask, like, okay, you already have a toddler. Who's going to take care of that toddler? You have a pet. Who's going to take care of that pet?
Mm,
So based on those, I was able to go back now and had those things in my intake form.
nice.
So those are data collection. And on top of that, now I was able to add that service.
Come on, y'all. Let me tell you, Miss Rosalee, she get the VIP. Like she is an MVP right now. Okay, like when I say this is the stuff that I preach all the time, and to hear you say it,
Yes, I
let's
know, I
go.
know. Yeah. And it's like the maternal community, healthcare in a whole, is a passion-driven field. I
Mm-hmm.
Other than you don't even think doctors get paid for what they really deserve.
Yeah,
They don't, just like teachers. So it's a passion-driven field. And if you think about a labor doula, right? How many clients can she see per month to have a sustainable living? So you have to find what else can you add on. And you're only going to be able to do that with data.
yeah. I love that. She's y'all. This is such a good episode. I'm gonna have to have you back in some
I'm,
capacity because you
Jared,
just
I'll be
schooled
happy to be back.
you
Happy to
just
be
school
back.
entrepreneurs
Hmm.
because it's we're
Yeah.
talking about maternal health care, great, but you have grown a very successful
Mhm.
business, and so you just school entrepreneurs about how you're using data and what it
Yes.
means, like how do you actually get to higher what they call now average order value if you want to
Hmm.
increase your the cart size for
Right.
our product people, but
Mhm.
honestly it's the same for us. You want to increase
Yes.
that cart size or that invoice, what
Hmm.
is something else you can do? And I love that you said, listen, we see what else they need. If
Yes.
we can provide it, we provide it. And now
Yes.
we've increased our
Exactly.
invoice value.
Yes.
So listen, look,
Yes.
I gotta get my air horn. I'm gonna pull my air horn out. I'm gonna put it over this episode when it comes out. Okay. This was
Yes.
so good. Did you know that data driven organizations were 19 times more profitable? 19. You heard me right. Perhaps you're asking, what is data driven and how do I become one of those organizations? I'm so glad you asked. I want you to go take a quiz. It's a simple, quick quiz to help you assess if you are, in fact, one of those organizations. Head over to mogulbeginnings.com/data into dollars quiz now. That's mogulbeginnings.com. You just go to mogulbeginnings.com and it'll show you the data into dollars quiz. Take it now. You'll see if you're on your way to 19xing your profitability. You're listening to Numbers Don't Lie on KCCR Cityscape. We hope you're enjoying the tunes and all the jams. Make sure you visit our website over at brownstoneworldwide.com to learn about all things Brownstone. You can check out Brownstone Living Magazine and all the great things that we have on the website, as well as the shop. You just got to head over to the website, brownstoneworldwide.com. So the racial disparity in maternal health outcomes, I mentioned it on the intro, it's striking and it's really unfortunate as many advances in society that we have made. It's ridiculous that we still see
Yes.
Black women dying 2 times the rate of white women. First of all, our maternal death rate is just abysmal when we compare it to other developed countries. Like
Yes.
we should be ashamed of ourselves.
Yes.
But on top of that, the disparity between Black and white women is really unfortunate. So, could you talk to us about the work that you do and how it kind of helps to reduce that disparity? Can
Yeah.
reduce that disparity?
Kendra. Yeah. So the first and foremost, over the years, and I'm it really pulled out my heartstring
Mm-hmm.
because I would say I've been doing this for over 20 years, and more than 75% of my client does not look like me,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's not because African Americans cannot afford it. I think it's just lack of education,
I
the
believe so
lack of
too.
awareness. So I'm in this space now where I am definitely pushing awareness, postpartum awareness, and also empowering moms to speak up. You have to advocate for yourself.
You have
You
to.
have to know when to say no. You have to ask questions. Not you walking with this perfect birth plan, and now a doctor walk in and say, okay, you need to do this, 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 and you forget about your birth plan because a person walking with a white coat. No, you need to ask questions. Why
Mm-hmm.
are you mentioning this? Why are you suggesting this? What's my alternative? What are the side effects?
Mm-hmm. That's good.
And always go up higher. If this person not listening to you, go higher.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just stop here because this person say this. Always, always, always go higher. And I'm fortunate right now to be enrolled in Morehouse School of Medicine doing a maternal health navigation program. Girl, don't ask me how I'm doing it. It's a 20-week program. Don't ask me. But I am 14 weeks in, so thank God for that. But it has opened up my eyes to so many things, and just be able to have that resource so I can share back into the community with my moms, because we have to do something. Georgia
Mm-hmm.
is amongst the highest,
Mm.
maternal mortality rate. And the thing is, it can be avoided.
Yes.
It can be avoided, but no one is listening to us. So how do we get our voice back? We have to open up our mouth. We have to speak. We have to
Mm-hmm.
advocate for ourselves.
Yeah. And I think you were actually being modest there because I was able to join you on a webinar where you were empowering other doulas and
Mhm.
in I wouldn't say postpartum workers because some of them just
Yeah,
work in the home already.
right.
And
Mhm.
most of, and a lot of them were from the African American community. And so I
Yes.
think even beyond what you just said, you're
Mhm.
empowering others. You kind of have that train to trainer model. And I think we're going
Yes.
to get to that in a
Yes.
little bit, that
Yes.
train to trainer model. And so I think what you're doing, your passion is reaching, but even what you just said, as far as being able to advocate for yourself, if
Yes.
that means having a friend,
Yeah, that's
my
where doula come
friend,
in. That's
yeah,
where doula come in. Because when you're in pain, you're not thinking.
yeah,
When the contraction is going in, and you know, I've heard, because I have so many. I mean, the labor doula space. I'm a postpartum doula, so I'm after.
mm-hmm,
I'm in the
yeah,
same maternal space, and I've heard labor doulas say that sometimes they wait until you're on the pike of a contraction to want to talk to you about something. At that time, you're just like,
really,
yeah, yes. So they know. They know. So if you don't
oh,
have someone there with you, that support, you
wow,
sometimes you'll be lost.
mm-hmm, yeah. Wow. So I did something we talked about on the event I did with you is how because I don't think people really understand how critical after delivery is. Like we talked
Oh,
about how the
yes.
mom is torn, but I don't think people really have the picture because I shared something where it said like this is probably one of the most critical periods for women and the mom and baby, and it's the
Yes.
most neglected period. Could you
Hmm.
speak a little bit about that?
Yes. But the thing is that a lot of times people they prepare for the gender reveal and the
Yeah, yeah,
baby
yeah.
shower and the birth, but that's where it stops. And
Mm-hmm.
that's not where it stops, because now you're going home with a newborn. You're not in the same space. You may
Mm-hmm.
even have a traumatic birth.
Yeah.
Right? So just being prepared for what it looks like going home is very important. Not
Mm-hmm.
that it's going to be what you think it is, but just having that preparedness. Having your meal plan layout. If you have an older child, who's going to take that child to school? Who is on your dial
Mm.
that you can call if you're not even feeling well? Somebody you can talk to. So that's why it's important to have a postpartum doula, someone who's educated. It's good to have a friend, but how long are your friend going to be there with you?
That's
Because
true.
I've yeah,
Right.
I've walked in with clients where I've had the privilege of meeting them before because they were prepared. And when I saw them, I was like, "You're not looking good. There's no way you should have been this bloated.
Mm.
I need you to call your healthcare provider right now." And from that call, she was able to rush to the hospital and be admitted because of preeclampsia. What if I wasn't
Wow.
there?
Ooh,
What if I wasn't there? What
wow.
if I wasn't there? No, because she did not know what she was going through. She knew she
Right.
wasn't feeling well, but she just thought
Mm-hmm.
that this is normal. It's normal for me to have someone to wait on. It's normal for my head to be hurting
Mm,
this much. It's normal for me to feel dizzy. But it's not normal. But
yeah.
without having that knowledge, you don't know what to do.
Yeah. The knowledge and not having the support. Because, like you said,
And the
everyone's
support.
there for the gender reveal, maybe
It,
even the
yeah,
birth. They may be there for a few days,
yes. And
but
all
then
the
they're
attention is still on the
gone.
baby. All the attention is on the baby.
That's true. And then they are gone.
And they're gone. you know,
So,
and it can be very, very lonesome.
yeah.
Your body changed.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know who you are anymore. Now
Yeah.
you have another life that you have to be responsible for. You have this old birth plan planned out, but it did not go the way you wanted. You have all these emotions,
Mm-hmm.
blaming yourself. What did I do
Wow.
wrong? Baby not latching because you're
Mm-hmm.
off. So the connection is not
Mm.
there. You did not build a relationship with a lactation consultant before. So now you're even scared to even bring someone else in your space.
And we haven't even talked about mental
So
health. We haven't even mentioned that.
yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I hope for everyone that's listening, you hear how important, not just before birth, that support is, but after birth support, like postpartum
Yes.
depression is a real thing. Now they have postpartum anxiety. They have a name for
Yes,
that.
yes.
Like it is,
Yes, it is.
I can't,
Mm-hmm.
my mind is still reeling from everything you just said.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know someone that's currently pregnant, or someone that recently had a child, please reach out
Yes.
to them, help them build a network because they may not have the
Mm-hmm.
capacity to do it themselves. Reach out to people like Rosalee. Rosalie, let me go ahead and let you put your how they can find you now before we forget.
Okay, so my company name is Mothers Helping Hands Atlanta LLC, and that's also my website. But I'm also on Facebook as Mothers Helping Hands Atlanta. Just to say, or you can find me on Instagram at Rosalie Henry 7 or the Seven Figure Doula Whisperer.
Come on, the seven figure
Figure
doula whisperer. Y'all better ask about her.
Doula. Yes,
Doula is Doula. So please
yes.
reach out to her, someone like her, to make sure you and your family and friends have the support that they need. Okay. All right. So it actually goes right on in with the next question because I was saying congratulations on your seven-figure award. So kudos. I see I got to put some applause sound effects in
Yes,
there.
yes, 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 yes.
What advice, because you have already been giving great advice for entrepreneurs,
Mhm.
what advice would you give for aspire entrepreneurs in the birthing and that community health industry?
Mm. First, I would say, find your niche because even in the birthday, know your target audience, know who you want to serve, and then from there, have conversation, do research, gather data, see what their needs are, and then add that service with. It's not just like you're a labor doula, you only you go in the hospital and help. See what else that you can add to your service to make that
Mhm.
mom life easier, and add it to your service.
I love that. As I was
Add
actually
it to your
talking to
service.
I was actually talking
Yeah.
to a data professional the other day,
Mhm.
and she mentioned something like what you just said. Because
Mhm.
my show is called Numbers Don't Lie, but it's a common misconception that data is only numbers, and it's
Mhm.
not. It's the conversations. And she said, "Your story is your data." And it
Yes.
sounds like something you just said, like listen to these people, listen to their story.
Yes.
That is
Mhm.
data too.
Yep.
So when you're at a church event, because at my church we have mother, I think it's called Mothers Assisting Mothers. And so they
Mhm.
actually have a community of women that have had children and expecting mothers. They
Mhm.
actually have a ministry called Expecting Mothers. So there are like
Mhm.
groups that you can
Yes.
talk to. What do you need? And even educate them on what you do, because
Mhm.
I'm sure I didn't know the importance of what you did until I talked with you a few weeks ago. So I'm sure my listeners just learned some things.
May
I'm like,
not
I didn't
know.
know I needed
Yeah.
that level of
Mhm.
support.
Yes.
So I love that you mentioned
Yeah.
talk to them,
Talk to them. Yeah.
listen.
Know your target audience. Know who you want to serve. Know what their pain points are. And then from there, you can add on to your service. The second most important thing is collaboration.
Yeah.
Sometimes we see each other as competitors. No, we have to collaborate because especially right because in the birthing field there's so many different sections. And like for postpartum doulas, sometimes we may not know who's pregnant, but guess what? A lactation consultant may, midwife may. So if you collaborate with those people and build your resource list, because your client is going to need a, more likely need a lactation consultant. So you
Mm-hmm.
refer back to each other. You
Right.
build off that. And then the last thing is delegate, for you, like you say, entrepreneur, delegation. You cannot grow your business without having a team. And I know it was so hard for me at first to delegate because this is my
It's
baby.
your baby, yeah.
Turned over to anyone, and I was so involved. I'd still like, texting the workout work, how's everything go? It's still not my role, but I still want to be so involved because that's my baby. But first we have to work on us as a leader. We have to
Mm-hmm.
learn to trust, just build that trust so we can trust our team and
Yeah.
just delegate and then work on in the area that we are good at because we
Mm-hmm.
cannot be good at everything.
You can't.
Cannot
That's
be good at
good.
everything. So those were the things that I did that really, really, propelled me to a seven-figure doula.
Love it. And you have a mentorship program. So you
Yes,
just
I
gave some
do.
advice to them, but now you have
Yes,
more support. So tell us all about it.
yes, yes, I do. So, like I said, now this business is such a passionate business, and our training during our postpartum doula training for people who are, train as a labor doula midwife, we're not taught the business side of it. We're
Mm-hmm.
taught about going out and doing it. Just do it, right? But how can you become sustainable? And if we are passionate about this, why not help others to now go out into the community to do the
Yeah,
same thing?
that's good.
And also for them to be sustainable. You're passionate about it, turn it into profit. And if you're not going to be sustainable, if you cannot have a living wage of this, you're gonna get burnt out. You're not gonna
Yep.
enjoy doing it because no matter what business you're in there for profit, right? So how can we add, birthing professionals to leave their families, leave their child, go care for
Mm.
another mom, still be in that space and not have to be worrying about anything behind and
That's
get,
good.
so you get paid for it. No, come on now. We're the forefront. We're bringing in lives. We helping lives come in the world. And we
Mm-hmm.
cannot get paid for it. We cannot do a business with this. We cannot sustain ourselves. We shouldn't have to work two jobs.
Should
We
not.
should
That's
not have to, no, we
good.
should not have to work two jobs, but not knowing what to do. Like I just showed some
Mm-hmm.
tips out there, know your target audience, know what else you can add. Like for me, when COVID hit, I still had my business. I was not able to go into the homes
Mm-hmm.
and care for clients. I had to refund clients. But because I
Wow.
was already set up, I know what to do. I was prepared. I was able to go virtual, have digital products because I knew what my
Yes.
clients wanted. I had my data. I spoke to my clients. They're like, you know what? I don't always want to go into somewhere and to do a childbirth education class. I don't want to have to do a lactation class all day. Have digital product. You can do it in the comfort of your home.
Yep.
And those were the things I was able to use to keep my business going.
I
And now
love that.
I'm ready to share with others in the birthing community because we have to do something with this maternal mortality rate. We
We
have to, and
do.
it starts with us. We are the ones who are suffering. We are the ones who are going out there and doing the work. But guess what? How many of us have a business out of it? How many of us own a birthing agency?
Mm. That's
Very
good.
few.
I
But
love
we are
that.
all workers.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can do the work. We are doing the work. No, we just need the,
Always
we
been
just
doing
need
the work.
we have been doing the work. But now I'm here to teach you how to turn your passion into profit,
Love it.
how to get paid for what you're
Yeah.
doing.
Let's go. Thank you, Ms. Rosalee, you schooled us. Okay, I'm thinking you're gonna come talk about one thing, but you offer so much value today.
Thank
Please tell them
you.
one more time where they can find you.
The name of my company is Mothers Helping Hands Atlanta LLC, and my website is www. Same thing, mothershelpinghandsatlanta.com. And
Awesome.
I'm also on LinkedIn, so you'll be able to drop those in the chat
Yeah,
box.
we'll put them in the
Yeah.
make sure we put in the description box.
Yes.
But thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm Dr. Michele, your host of Numbers Don't Lie. And make sure you follow me at All Things Mogul Beginnings. That's MOGUL Beginnings. And make sure you also check out Brownstone Worldwide. This is the platform that we're streaming from right now. So check out brownstoneworldwide.com for all things. We have a magazine, a store, all that great thing.